Well, hello folks, and welcome to A Sportsman's Life. I'm Luke Clayton and my two good buddies,
Jeff Rice
and Larry Weissoon, and we're so proud that you're with us this week. I'll be very honest with you, I have no idea where we're going.
There is no telling, but it's going to be fun.
We're going to have a good time, folks. Stay tuned. We have another great adventure on A Sportsman's Life coming your way.
Well, folks, welcome to this week's A Sportsman's Life. We're down here near Big Lake with my buddy Kenneth Tallent. Me and Kenneth have hunted together for years, Mr. Weissoon, of course, and Jeff. And we're having an absolute ball. Jeff and I have been after the javalina.
Yes, we have.
We're probably going to show you some javalina later in this show. I can almost guarantee it.
Absolutely will.
Kenneth, this is just an awesome place, buddy.
Yeah, it is. We've had it now for 3 years. We've really poured the protein in this place, and we're really now just seeing the deer kind of come along. You know, the bad thing about it is, you know, the last 2 days here, I mean, we've had hurricane winds out here. And,
it's been blowing.
It has. Last night I woke up, and I woke up 2 or 3 times through the night, and I said, "Yo, tomorrow's just not going to be good." But it'll get better.
Well, we've had a good time. We've eaten good, and I seen a good buck this morning. You know, coming in when we was coming in.
Yeah.
You know, so. And saloon tables and all are showing afternoon hunts the best, so we'll see.
There we go.
But Jeff, I know you've got that dragon claw with that bolt.
Absolutely.
And that broadhead, you're ready, aren't
We're
you?
going to have a lead down tonight. We are. We are.
The wind has been bad, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm glad the wind's been bad because Kenneth and I have been telling hunting stories in the blind the whole time. You know, if it wasn't for the wind, we probably wouldn't have seen anything anyway. So.
Well, it looks like the wind might be dying down just a little bit. We're gonna, because of the lunar tables, we're gonna get out and sit in the blinds a little bit earlier this evening. So, boys, you ready to go have some fun?
Yeah, we're gonna go see if we can call up one of your critters.
Let's do that. You want to go do that? Call a javelina in?
Yeah, let's see what's it.
Let's try that.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, folks, we'll be back on A Sportsman's Life. Folks, welcome to the blind. Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. Luke and I are sitting in the blind. We are at Big Lake, Texas.
Big Lake, yes.
Big Lake, Texas, and we're out for deer and javelinas. So stay tuned. We're going to have some big time tonight. We're sitting in a little pop-up blind. Got a little corn feeder out in front of us. Got the cameras ready to go. Got the dragon claw. Got the Air Force air gun. What else do we need?
Texan. We need those 14 javelina that ran away when we first came here to come back.
Exactly. All right, we're going to cut the camera off here and we're going to do some hunting, folks. So stay tuned for a fun and exciting adventure here on Our Sportsman's Life.
Hey folks, this is Scott Wallace with Smoking Tex. I want to show you the unit that we started the company with almost 20 years ago today. We still build it the same way. All double wall stainless steel, insulated 850 plus degrees. We think it's the best electric smoker on the market. We hope you will too. We do have a little bit less expensive alternative here. Again, this is our most popular, and of course we have them bigger all the way up. Our next model up is $995, and it's a really good, I feel like it's the most appropriate size for the home. If you'd like to order a smoking text, it's easy to do. We have a great website. You're more than welcome to get on there and look at our recipes, our videos, and our forum section where people are exchanging tips. You can also place an order there in our shopping cart. We are on the web, and you're welcome to call us at 888-922-1511 or drop us an email at sales, S-A-L-E-S, at SMOKINTEX.com.
Wow, folks, you talk about last minute. Holy smokes. We've been after these guys all day. And it was right down to the wire, buddy.
Actually, Jeff, this is what you're calling deer 30. Late.
Javelina 30
Good
for
shot,
sure.
buddy.
Oh,
Excellent
man.
shot, man. I don't know, you hit him in the lungs of the heart. He didn't. He jumped twice, and that is a big javelina boar right there.
Yeah, wow.
What do you say we go take a look at
Let's
it?
go take a quick peek
do
while
it.
we get some light. All right, we'll be right back. All right, friends, welcome back to A Sportsman's Life. That happened really, really quick. We're using the Dragon Claw, which shoots a bolt. And as you saw in our videos earlier today, we were covered up in javelinas and just couldn't get on one, couldn't get a right shot. So we had to pass on them, and last minute, I'm talking last minute, this thing came in and we were literally packing our stuff up. And wasn't that exciting?
That was very exciting, and this we have a new phrase coined. Jeff does. It was deer 30 when this one was shot, and I'm talking about another minute, 2 minutes max. But that's, you know, Jeff, that is perseverance and positive attitude. You know, you and I sitting there, we never.
Don't give up.
We didn't give up. But
That's
that Seneca Dragon Claw 50 caliber, you know, it shoots the bullets, but it also shoots the bolts. And this javelina, I mean, he jumped when you hit him, and he went maybe, I don't know, just a few feet.
Well, it was amazing. I believe we had just barely enough light to get that on film. So
Yeah.
nice job on the camera, buddy. And that happened so darn quick. I looked to my left and I'm like, oh my gosh, here comes a javelina. I tapped Luke on the shoulder. I said, get ready. And we had to make this one quick. He
Yes.
went to the pan there and came right back out. And I mean, he was looked like he was going to walk away. And
You bet.
man, I was on him.
Well, it's been a great hunt down here with Kenneth Tallent, my old-time buddy, and now your buddy with Double Lung Outdoors, Jeff. Good job, buddy.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, buddy. And guess what? Our ride is here. So
Let's look over here. I think here comes Mr. Emerson.
Emerson's coming to get us. So
All right, Jeff.
we'll talk more back at camp. Folks, welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We are here with legendary John Hale, race car driver, stunt pilot. John does a little bit of everything, but I can tell you one thing that John does very, very well is makes best of Texas barbecue sauce.
You can find us at our website, www.bestoftexasbbqsauce.com.
Folks, if you have not tried Best of Texas barbecue sauce, I
promise you, it is better than the best of Texas. It's the best there is. Maybe you should change the name, Best There Is Barbecue Sauce.
I like it.
We hunted this morning in wind probably 30, seemed like 40 miles an hour, and tried to do some coyote calling, called into coyote, and tried to call in some javelina during the middle part of the day. And Kenneth and I went back out there this afternoon. Wind was blowing like crazy out of the south for a long time. Finally found 2 does that kind of wandered in, and just a little bit before, about the time the sun was fixing to go down, that little front blew in, and I looked over and the entire western sky was obliterated by dust. You couldn't even see the sun at that point. And about that time, this deer walked in kind of from to our right. We were sitting in a stand overlooking a feeder in an area, travel area, and looked at him pretty good. Says, well, he's kind of a mature deer, and he's a good deer to come off this property, and he has got a huge loin right there, got fancy hindquarters, and my entire intention about this hunt was to spend time with Kenneth Tallent, who has the Double Lung TV show. Kenneth and I have known each other for a while, but we never had a chance to hunt together. And to be very honest with you, I'm surprised we saw anything in many hunting stories we were telling up in the blind. That's why we didn't complain about the wind. But this buck came in, he kind of made a circle or two down below us, chased the doe a little bit, and shooting a Ruger #1 in a 280 Ackley improved with I think that's 162 grain ELDX Hornady bullet with a Trijicon scope on it. And he finally gave me a shot, and couldn't see a little bit of him. And Kenneth said I've got him on camera because he was filming for Double Lung as well too. And shot, and the deer just went down in a hurry. I mean, it just went down so fast you could hear the splat. And kind of reloaded and kept looking over that way, but I could see just a little bit of kicking and see the deer was down. So absolutely thrilled with this buck, and not the biggest in the world, but I'll tell you what, on this one it was more about the people I'm with all the guys in camp, and you know, it's just one of those deer that's going to mean a whole lot to me, a whole lot more to me than what if he had big antlers and I'd have shot him somewhere else and didn't have all these great folks in camp with me.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you,
We've got, and we got a javelina.
You did kill a javelina.
I killed a javelina.
All right, congratulations.
You won't believe this. I mean, you talk about 11th hour. I mean, this thing at the last second came in. We had them. We were covered up in them, but we just never had a shot. But I got one right there at the end, and I believe I got it on video. So,
oh, out of this world,
folks. This is my longtime buddy Kenneth Tallent. And Kenneth, we're down here right now on his lease hunting deer and javelina, had a fun time. But what we want to talk about right now is a great big alligator that this rascal harvested, we'll say. How long was that alligator?
13, I think 13.1. I might be stretching just a little bit.
13.
He was 13 foot.
Now that's from, we're looking at a wall over there about 13 foot.
Yeah, that's right.
And that thing had a girth around him of about
66 inches. And at the tail, the base of the tail, back at that part, it was 44 inches is what it was. They about 900 pounds. And,
that's unreal. And then tell us, we want to make sure and tell us where you got him and the folks you got him with. Right. But how did you hook him first?
Yeah, they hooked him. First off, it's with Clay Gully Outfitters. They're out of Bunnell, Florida. Actually, right out of Okeechobee, a little town there.
People can Google that.
Yeah. Clay Gully Outfitters.
Okay, yep.
And Casey and Zach Zeller. And but I've been hunting with Casey now for probably about 5 years. And you know, of course, I told him to find me the biggest gator that he can. And he finally gave me a call. And he said he had me a 14-footer. And I was definitely excited about that. 14, yeah. And so we got down there, and what they'll do is Casey, you're out floating in your little John boat, and they kind of they'll size one from his, I think his eye to the end of his nose, to say about, you know, and then he'll just say, hey, that's going to be a good gator right there, you know. So. They've got a treble hook on the rod and reel.
Big treble.
A big treble hook. They'll put it out over him. Casey actually does the first set for you. And he'll set it, and then they'll give you the rod, and then they'll bring it in, and then they'll throw a big treble hook on him at that point. And then they'll try to get another rod and reel on him, try to get two guys on him. Because, you know, of course, everybody knows a 900-pound gator is not going to come in that.
You're not gonna roll him, you're not.
No, he's not going to reel in or anything else. And once we got him up to the top of the water, and you start looking at that, it's like, oh. And the John boat probably wasn't much more than 14 foot. And then when you get him up beside the boat and you look at the gator is longer than the boat, and it's like, gosh almighty, what are we going to do now? Definitely you don't want to go over in the water with him.
No,
and
those hooks alone.
Yeah, that's right. And but the teeth, actually the teeth.
That's what's really good. How wide is that rascal's head? He's gonna be.
I think he's going to definitely be like 16, 18 inches wide. Yeah, at the head, yeah. And but yeah, it was a phenomenal hunt. Casey, he does a great job. But of course, he was 13 foot, 900 pounds. Just a phenomenal game.
That's something you'll never forget. Well, something that I won't ever forget is that I'd had gator at restaurants,
Right.
But I know it maybe been frozen for a long time. But Kenneth, you harvested you shot some like 10 foot,
10 foot. Yeah, it was 10 foot.
That was on this hunt down there. That was the best fried. It's better than any blue catfish I've ever eaten in my life, and you know how good that is.
That's it.
That gator is, and you're saying you get the smaller ones for that.
Yeah, the smaller ones. Yeah, you want 6, 8s, 10s.
Yeah, right.
But
that was honestly that was the best fried food I ever had.
No, it is great.
I'm putting it up with shrimp, oysters, whatever. Well, that's awesome, Kenneth. And I know you go back down there a lot.
Yeah, we do.
And hunt turkey with him.
We hunt turkey, and I've shot 2 Osceola with him, and I can't tell you the gators I've shot half a dozen gators.
Plenty of them.
Yeah, sure have.
Well, tell them, I want all of our friends to know about Double Lung Outdoors. I'm sure most of them watch you on the Pursuit channel.
Right.
Yeah, Double Lung Outdoors.
Yeah, Double Lung Outdoors on the Pursuit channel. We air 3 days a week. We air on Tuesdays at 5:30, Wednesday at 12, and Sunday at noon as well. And this is our 8th year, and we've definitely enjoyed it. Had a great time.
Yeah. I remember years back, Kenneth and I have hunted together. Hogs, started out with hogs, and been up North Dakota. Had a lot of fun, and appreciate the fun we've had down here, buddy. We're having a great time. We'll get you back, man. Talk to us more about some of your adventures.
We want y'all to come back out here at the Big Lake as well.
Oh, I've got it marked on my GPS.
Folks, there you have it. Jalapeno cheese biscuits.
Get away from my biscuits with you.
All right, boys, let's eat.
Yes, sir.
Hi, folks. It's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and this ain't your grandpa's pump-up air gun. This is the Texan made by Air Force Air Guns, and it's the most powerful production air gun in the world. A few years ago, I started shooting these when they first came out, I actually had a chance to test. They didn't really need any testing, but to shoot one of the 10 prototypes when it first came out. Now, this is the improved model. This tank pressures up to 3,625 PSI. This gun will develop, I believe it's 750 foot-pounds of energy shooting a 520 grain bullet. So this is your big daddy of air guns. If you want to get into hunting or shooting air guns, you don't have to shoot a 520 grain bullet. I shoot a Nielsen specialty ammo bullet I think it's 340 grains. But here you go. Check these out online. You can go to airforceairguns.com and check them out. But this is the one I've hunted with a lot. I've probably killed 30 hogs and a bunch of exotics, and I'm going to get after the deer here in Texas this year with it. airforceairguns.com. Well, howdy folks, it's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and it's time for us to take a little break from our show and do our camp cooking segment. Now, I've got a little recipe that if you're an old camp cook, chances are pretty good you've made this a lot. If not, you know, it may be something new to you, but I've got about, a pound of cubed up venison. This is some venison ham steak that's cubed up in maybe 1-inch square cubes. We're gonna make some smothered venison steak with rice and gravy. So in this sack right here is, I've already cubed it up and seasoned it, but that's about roughly a pound of cubed up venison steak. Very simple recipe. In here we have a big yellow onion, chopped up, coarse chopped. The ingredients are not many. And then this is just a can of cream of mushroom soup. We've got some rice that we're going to add to it a little bit later, but basically I'm going to bring the camera in close and we're going to show you, we're going to brown this steak first, get it brown, then we'll put our onion in there and cook the onion until it's translucent in my old cast iron skillet. I've used this thing for years and years, but I've got it heating up right now. I'm going to give you a close-up of what we're doing in just a second. But it's a real simple recipe. I'm all about simple when I'm at camp. I don't want a bunch of utensils to clean up and all that kind of stuff, so this is about as basic. This skillet with this lid right here will do a lot of your camp cooking. I guarantee you it will. So let's bring the camera in close and let's brown our meat and then get that going right here, brown our venison, and then we will, we won't put the rice in, folks, until the meat is tender, and then the rice will be the last thing we add. And you know, if you put a cup of rice, we'll probably add about 1.5 cups of water. The key is at the last, when you get to the point where you're cooking the rice, you don't want it to stick, so make sure and you know, stir it a lot, and we'll get into that as we go along. So let's take a look at this steak browning. What do you say? Well, folks, here's our old cast iron skillet. What do you say we go ahead and brown these cubes, these little cubes of venison? Drop them in there. It's going to take a little while for them to brown out like we want them to. This is just cubed up venison steak, folks. It's actually from the top round of the steak is what it is. Nothing magic about it. Just drop it in there, and our grease is pretty hot. It's going to get a little bit hotter, and we'll get this going real good. Get it browned up. Let's see here. It's okay to get a little extra flour in there too, folks, because that's going to help make the gravy. It's beginning to sizzle a little bit there. Oh yeah. Now, and this is about a pound of venison, cubed up venison steak. And it's going to take about probably 45 minutes with the lid on in moisture to get this very tender. But when we get through, this venison steak is going to be as tender as any steak you've ever eaten. Now then, okay, we've got it in there. Let's kind of stir it around a little bit. Try to get it all going. And at this point, you can go ahead and brown the steak in your skillet like this, and it won't take very long for it to brown. Or, you know, you can put the onions in there right now. It really doesn't make any difference. I think I'll go ahead and add our onions and let this all saute and cook until it's brown. Now, it will not be tender at that point, but it will be brown. So let's put our onions in. Stir the onions in with it. So, what we're going to do is let this cook for about, it'll probably take it about 5 or 8 minutes, something like that, to brown. And then we're going to come back and add our mushroom soup and water and stir it all up, and then we'll put the lid on it. Okay, folks, our steak is pretty well browned right now. This is what we're looking for. Just get it browned. It's not at all tender, but it's actually done. You know, it's cooked probably 160 degrees, but it's not tender. So what we're going to, our finished product here is going to be smothered steak with rice and gravy. So at this point, let's go ahead and incorporate our cream of mushroom soup. You can use any kind of mushroom soup you like, but that skillet's real hot. Just spoon that in there, stir it around, mix it around real good. Now, if we were to just put the lid on that right now, it would cook for a little while, but then
it would reduce all the moisture. So let's add some water to it at this point. We're going to probably put this much water, about a can of water in there. So let's add the water and mix it all the time where it'll all be incorporated well. Remember, some of this water is going to cook out, and then we're going to later need some water, some moisture in here when we put our rice in. Folks, this is some of the best smothered steak you can imagine. Let's just put a whole bottle of water in there. Now then, a little black pepper, a little extra black pepper. I've already seasoned that meat, but let's put a little black pepper. You got to have that. Because remember, we've diluted everything with the cream of mushroom soup there, and a little extra salt. Okay, because we're seasoning for the finished product, which will have rice in it. Folks, let's do this now. Let's take our old lid. See how it's got the little dog ear here? Fit it right down on that, right there, and let's let this cook for. After about 30 minutes, I'll stir it, and then when we come back, it'll be tender and done. We're going to add the rice to it at that point. Okay, folks, let's pull the lid on our old cast iron skillet here and see how our steak is looking. Oh yeah, that's just the right consistency. Let me check that for tenderness. I bet it's going to be falling off the bone. Oh yeah, cuts easily with a spoon. So right here, folks, this is ready for rice. And remember, it takes rice about 20 minutes to cook, 25, because we're going to be cooking at a low temperature. That gravy's just right. Steak, rice, and gravy in one skillet. That's what I'm all about when I'm out at camp. Really, really easy to do. And if you don't have a skillet like this or a Dutch kettle, heavy-duty cast iron, you need to think about getting one, folks. This lid right here makes this work magic. This so heavy-duty lid, it really does. It tenderizes stuff really well. So okay, let's go ahead and put our rice in here. It's about the right amount of rice. We're not going to put quite all of that. Then let's stir it up here. Stir it real good from the bottom. This is not sticking so far, which is good. And we're going to need to add about twice as much water as we added to that added rice. So that's going to be about right. Stir that all up. See, that'll give you some extra moisture in there for that rice, to cook that rice. Okay, now, the lid back on it. Put the little dog ears down to this right there. And let's let that cook for about 25 minutes. And when we get through, folks, we're going to have steak, rice, and gravy all in the old cast iron skillet. We'll put some on a plate and show it to you. The only problem is you're not here with me to enjoy this. So let's let her cook a little bit, and we'll come back and see what the finished product looks like. By the way, I forget to mention catfishradio.org. After you watch our little show, you might want to go on there and listen to Larry Weissoon and myself talk about hunting, or local folks and myself talk fishing. Catfishradio.org. It's on a bunch of radio stations, but it's also online. You can watch the archive show each week there at catfishradio.org. Okay, folks, we've had our rice cooking about actually 22 minutes. So let's pull the top off of this old cast iron skillet. Smothered steak, rice, and gravy. Let's get a good, try not to dribble this too much, but of course we are outside. Check this out, folks. I checked the steak earlier. It is so tender. But there's your one skillet meal. Venison steak cubed up. Of course, you can use any kind of game meat. You can use beef if that's what you want to use. But that is so tasty. I think, as they say, it's about time to get back to our regular programming. I hope you've enjoyed our little camp cooking dish this week. We'll try to bring you one each week, something new and something different.
After some really windy weather, we're wondering whether we're even going to see anything in terms of bucks. All we'd seen was just a couple of little small yearling type deer and a few does. Shot a doe yesterday afternoon, or day before yesterday afternoon, and then yesterday evening, right before dark, the wind changed out of the north, kind of blew in a sandstorm almost, really cloudy, and this buck came out, and Kenneth said, he said, if you want that one, Larry, go ahead and take him. And this was a meat hunt as far as I'm concerned with the doe and the buck. So got this old Ruger #1, which I dearly love, 280 Ackley. I think it's 162 grain Hornady ELDX and a Triticon scope, and he was about 200 yards out there and able to make the shot and getting ready to take this one apart and take him back home and take some back for steaks and some back for maybe a little roast or two, and then also a whole lot of ground meat and a little bit of jerky. So I'm anxious to get started on this one and get them taken apart and get back headed home. Had an absolutely fantastic time hunting here with Kenneth Tallent on his place over in Reagan County, and of course had Jeff and Luke here as well too, and they had a fabulous hunt as well too. So let's take this one back and get them taken apart and get home and start working on the next picture. We'll see all of you next week again on Sportsman's Life.
And a special thanks to these fine sponsors: Air Force Air Guns, B&B Charcoal, Dallas Safari Club, Hornady, Pyramid Air, Nielsen Specialty Ammo, Sightmark, Smokin' Tex, Snap Block Hunting Blinds, Texas Raised Hunting Products, and Striper Express.